All right, everybody, as you saw in part one, all of this is ready, full of pints of meat. The alarm has gone off. I am going to turn the oven, pardon me, we're going to turn the burner off. Wobbling is going, and guess what? See that? Walk away, leave it, leave it, leave it. Just let it cool down. Do not rush this process. I will be back to update you with more. Do you hear that? She's losing pressure. She's cooling down. But the most important thing we can do is just back away and let it do its thing. I'll update you with more. Hi everybody, it's time to finish the canner. So those clips that came before this are right as she was finishing. It's the next morning. This is Maria, the big old yellow canner, and she's done. So let's remove the wobbler. Completely safe. She is completely cool. We're gonna open. What's gonna happen inside? Little drip, it's okay. There they all are, processed. Last night I could hear them popping. Oh yeah, let's get them all out. Inside, do you see how low the water is? Remember, we fill that up to a solid 2 inches above the floor of the canner, and the heat inside has caused it to evaporate down. If you didn't have water or enough water in your canner, it'll completely evaporate, burn it up, bust out the bottom, and ruin your machine. The American brand, American canner, is like $400. You can get a Presto, a small one, for $100. Don't waste your money by not putting enough water in it. Okay, let's look at our cans. So I'm gonna dump the water out, use just a little bit of soap, and rinse and clean out the inside of the canner. We need to test our seals. Ta-da! Ready to go on the shelf. Oh! We have a failure. Okay, this is recorded. I'm gonna leave that in there. That's heartbreaking. So, what could go wrong? What would make a seal fail? Couple of things. I know I wiped the rim off with the vinegar. 2, it could have been the fat content in here. 3, my choice is to either just put this in the fridge and have it for dinner today, which is probably what's going to happen. Or 4, I could have the choice to reprocess it, but I don't want to because I feel like it makes the inside product super mushy. That was so sad. I'm going to put this in a refrigerator. Do we dare keep going? She good. I have another failed seal. If you saw the live, you know that I wiped all of these with vinegar on the top of the rim. So another failed seal. It could be the actual, these are Kerr jars. There is a lot of rubber on there. I'm thinking it's the amount of fat. That's a lot of meat for me and my family to go through. I will probably put this into a Ziploc freezer bag and then just freeze it for pulled pork sandwiches later on. Out of 4 jars, 2 failed, 2 are good. She's good. When you use fatty, and yesterday when it was cooking, I could kind of smell something. When you have fatty meat, the fat expands, it can siphon and escape, and it can cause a failed seal. It doesn't mean you don't put fatty meat. Now remember, it was a pork shoulder roast that was crock potted. So that, it just could have been too fatty of a cut of meat. You guys, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 4 out of 6 jars are good. You are looking for the lid to be dimpled. You see that? It's dimpled. You have the chance and opportunity to buy beautiful fancy labels, and I don't. Many times I just write on the lid, and then when I reuse the lid, I just write over it. But how about some simple masking tape? I'm going to place it on there. So 9/26, 2024 Cajun pork. There you go. It's backwards for you, isn't it? The date that I canned it and prepared the meat and what it is. When I reuse this lid, I will just pull that tape off. Let's talk about, do we store with the band or not? Personal opinion. I like to store with the band loosely on it. Why do we not want to do this? Because if the seal, if you had this stored on the jar and for some reason the seal broke, you wouldn't know until you went to use it. And you would have like spoiled food sitting on your pantry shelf. I like to keep this loosely on it because I feel like it protects the seal. Here's the note. Just check your seal. It should be dimpled in. You guys, that was so simple. I feel like it was simple. If you feel scared the first time you do it anyways. Because in the end, this is a shelf-stable product. It does not have to be refrigerated. I can put this pork into my pantry. I can put this pork in there and on September 26, 2025, pull it out and have a delicious meal. If I can do it, you can do it. Let me know in the comments if you give this a try. I highly recommend it. And I have one more thought. So I learned by watching YouTubes. My mom learned by watching YouTubes. We are not old, like, family canners. We started this in the lockdowns in 2020 and just liked it so much we kept up with it. Where is the 4-H extension in your area who teaches canning? There are most likely, other than watching Homestead Heart, Sutton's Days, Rose Red Homestead, all on YouTube, there is most likely somebody somewhere in your community who has hands-on classes. It's worth your time to learn how to do it. It's easy, and once you get your step down, you can do it. If you get a failed seal, bada boom, bada bing. I put one can in there. I'm going to have it for dinner. Guess who's having pork for dinner? And then the other one, I'm just going to freeze it and then use it next month. Easy peasy. I hope you try this. Let me know in the comments if you do. I'll talk to you soon.